Debbie, thank you very much for the kind introduction. And before I begin, I'd just like to thank Debbie and Dom and the larger Carter Group for inviting some of us here from California today. I'd also like to thank the attorneys in Kenji and mostly Mayu and Keiko, who are part of the CareMates team sitting off in the back. When you actually build startups, it's all about a team. And without their support on this journey, we've successfully conducted 2 pilots in Japan. Without their support, that would not be possible. So I think as many people know, we're sitting here in Japan and it has the most rapidly aging society in the world. And as some previous panelists have mentioned, by 2020, 30% of the population was actually over the age of 65. And by 2025, that's projected to be over 32%. Unfortunately, with an aging society, dementia becomes prevalent, and Japan has the largest number of dementia patients in the world, growing at 58% year over year. This aging society has led to a chronic shortage of care providers in Japan, and it's estimated by 2025 there'll be a shortage of about 300,000 care providers. When you look at this from a market perspective, by 2025 it's estimated that the market for care in Japan will be 6.4 trillion yen. So to put some context around that, that is bigger than the automotive and consumer electronics industries combined. So it's a very large market. And as Debbie alluded to, I've been doing work in Japan on and off for over 20 years. I've had many clients over in Japan. And when we actually started looking at these demographic facts and whatnot, we asked a simple question. Can you actually apply technology to help solve some of these problems? And what we came up with as a solution is a company called CareMates. And what CareMates does is really 3 things. It allows people to age comfortably and remain active and healthy in their own home. It allows people to earn money by providing services to older adults. And it also gives back me time to people providing those services. So what you actually find when you start looking at the care providers or the care industry in Japan is the largest cohort of people actually providing care. It either tends to be the spouse of an older adult or it tends to be their children. And when we start talking about the children providing care, it's what we call the sandwich generation. So these tend to be overwhelmingly females. They're working, they're looking after kids, and then they're either looking after their in-laws or their own parents. So it gives back me time to them. So when you look at the platform itself, the simplest way to think of the platform is 3 pillars. So there's a care provider application. And on the care provider application, we actually offer the following services. We offer life coaching. We offer lifestyle and wellness activities. We offer companion care. And then hands-on care. And the hands-on care is the piece that's actually covered by the long-term care insurance by the Japanese government. We've incorporated multilingual chat into the platform. As right now, many of the care providers being recruited into Japan, they're either from the Philippines or from Indonesia or Vietnam. So we've included multilingual chat to help them overcome that communications barrier. We've included video communications. What we found through some of our pilots, specifically during COVID, is level of trust is very important. So people not only wanted to chat with them, they wanted to see them. So we actually incorporated video communications. We do electronic background checks. So as part of the, before a person's even onboarded, they go through a registration process, a provider, and then we do electronic background check on them. And then we've included digital payments. There is actually a matching client application, and that actually allows people to search for those services that I just mentioned. And it also includes multilingual chat, the voice communications, and the digital payments. And on the far left-hand side, we've included digital therapeutics and telehealth. The first digital therapeutic that we've actually piloted in Japan will actually be for dementia. And we did that with our partnership with the University of Toronto, Johns Hopkins, and Florida State. Through our video capabilities, we could also offer telehealth. The one thing we found talking to various cities in Japan, there's many older adults living outside of the city. They have mobility issues, which were touched upon today. So how do they actually get to a doctor? And so telehealth actually enables that. And then over time, we'll partner with either different research universities or different startups to offer therapeutics in the cancer space and whatnot. As I previously alluded to, we work very closely with the University of Toronto, Johns Hopkins, and Florida State. And they actually have a solution called Hippo Camera, which we actually piloted in Japan last year with a tier 1 insurance company. Very positive results back from that. And as we go to market with them, they will be our key partners for dementia in the Japanese marketplace.
Thank you so much, Alan. And I'm going to let you go ahead with your questions for your panel there. We're so excited, and you saw Hippo Camera earlier. They were one of the videos that we saw. And we at Carter Group are so privileged to be working with CareMates and many of the companies that you're seeing here today.
So Persona is actually one of our strategic investors and one of our go-to-market partners. And Kenji, who's the CEO of Persona North America, has been instrumental in helping us gain access to the Japanese marketplace. So my first question is actually for Kenji. So from Persona's perspective, what do you find attractive about the age tech space?
Okay. First of all, Debbie and Dom, thank you. Thank you for having me. And hello, everyone. My name is Kenji Furushiro. We are a human resources outsourcing company, and we build a long-term relationship with professionals and corporations. And we'd like to extend that relationship to enhance your life after your profession or professional life. And then those elders might be our target user, end users. However, second target is ourselves. After raising kids, we're going to face another turn, right? And we need to take care of our parents. And we also pursue our professions. However, we also want to take care of our parents or in-laws. So we'd like to create a platform to sustainable lifestyle and also our long-term life goal. So that's why when I met Alan, we were fascinated with the idea, and then we'd like to work with him and his team.
Yeah. So another question for Kenji is, what specifically did you find attractive about CareMates?
Yes, like I said, we have relationship with the individuals and corporations, but we are good at B2B relationship. However, we don't have B2C channels, so that if we work with CareMates, probably we can get we can build a new channel to approach those new, let's say, market or those group of people. So that's a primary reason.
Great, thank you. And now just a couple questions for our attorneys. And I think, the one thing is when you come specifically from, the Silicon Valley into Japan, startups tend not to worry about legal matters initially. They'll go out, they'll take the risk, and then, when the regulators come knocking at their door, then you go out and hire the lawyers and you deal with it. That's very different from Japan. You can't operate that way in Japan. So with our two attorneys, they were instrumental. They've both done work with Uber, making sure that we abided to all the Japanese regulations for a shared economy platform. So my first question is for Iwari-san. So if you could tell us about the general legal matters that startups should consider when coming into Japan.
Okay. Thank you, Alan さん。弁護士の岩堀と言います。本日は貴重な機会いただきありがとうございます。三本弁護士と一緒に私はもともと国会議員の政策秘書出身の弁護士っていう経歴を持っているんですけれども、過去にウーバーの日本進出をお手伝いしたりとか、そういった意味でイノベーション等の日本参入のお手伝い等をさせていただいています。で、今日は今ご質問があった新規ビジネスを日本で立ち上げる上でのホームリスクの観点から若干のご説明をさせていただきたいと思っています。で日本っていうのはやっぱりアメリカと違ってアメリカはどちらかっていうと事後チェック型の社会っていう、よく言われてますけれどもまずやってみてで もし不都合があるのであれば、そのルールを検討するというような枠組みっていうのが取られているんですけれども 日本っていうのは、どちらかというと事前規制型の社会っていうやっぱり傾向が強くてですね、それっていうのはやっぱり社会のリスク許容度の問題でもあるんですけれども、できるだけ社会的なリスクみたいなものを事前で抑えたいと、そういうような社会的なやっぱり認識があるので、そういった意味でどうしても新しい、エイジテックを含む新規ビジネスを日本に持ち込む場合にはイノベーションを含む新規ビジネスを日本に持ち込む場合には規制リスクっていうところをどうしても考えざるを得ないと。でその際にですねこちらのスライドの方にお示しさせていただいたのが、一つの分析のフレームワークの一つの枠組みとして書かせていただきました。で通常ホームリスクっていうとこの1番の方に書いているそのビジネスモデルの法令の適合性みたいなところが真っ先に来るんですけれども、一般的にやっぱりこの法律家がこのなんですかねビジネスモデルが適合かどうかっていうところを言われたときに、どうしてもやっぱり慎重に考えてしまうっていうことが多いと。でただ我々側からするとできるだけやっぱりどうやったらやれるかっていうところをやっぱり考えたいっていうところがありますのでそれだけではなくて、例えば具体的にそのビジネスを落とし込んだときに具体のビジネスについてどのようななんですかね法令適合性が考えられるのか、さらに当局とのですね規制当局とのコミュニケーションを図ることで、意図を組むことで適切な解釈が導き出せるんじゃないか、またリスク評価分析、そのような観点も含めて考えることでやれる可能性というのを考えていくと。でこういったリスク評価に関しては特にビジネスを最初に立ち上げる段階で検討することが重要ではないかなと思っています。場合によってはビジネスモデルをアジャストメントしたりとか、場合によっては適応性が担保されることで投資パートナーを見つけやすかったりとか、そういったところに影響するということで最初の段階での検討が必要ではないかなというふうに思っています。
Great, thank you. And then the last question is for Mitamoto-san. And if you could share a story about Uber as a past example of something that needed to happen differently in Japan versus the US marketplace. And you got about 90 seconds from what they're telling me.
三本と申します。今日はちょっとエイジテックということで、ちょっとウーバーというライドシェアリングの会社というのはちょっと違う部分はあるんですけれども、一応そのウーバーの事例ということで、海外企業が日本に進出するっていう観点と、実際に新規の事業を日本で立ち上げるという、一応2つの観点で、ウーバーの事例というのを簡単に紹介させていただければなと思ってます。でまずその海外事業の日本進出という観点なんですけれども、ウーバーっていうのはもともとアメリカでですね、タクシー業界からの反発っていうのはありながらも、実際にそのライドシェアのサービスを利用して、利用者の賛同を得てどんどん市場で拡大していったといういわゆる成功モデルがありました。で彼らはやっぱりその成功モデルをそのまま日本に持ってこようというふうに考えて一度市場に参入してきました。ただし日本においてはいわゆるそのライドシェアリングというのは白タクと言われていてですね、タクシー業のライセンスを持たないでお客さんを輸送してそれに対して対価をもらうということは違法であるというふうに考えられていますと。それもあってですね、関係当局からかなり強いプレッシャーを受けて、事業を継続するというのはなかなか難しいということがあって、経営方針を大きく転換せざるを得なくなりました。それで彼らはですね、ウーバーブラックというビジネスモデルをやっておりまして、それは旅行業のライセンスを持ってタクシーではなくてハイヤーを借り上げてですね、それをそれぞれのユーザーに対して小割りにしてやっていくというビジネスをモデルで今日本では事業をしているという形になっています。このように日本の中で適法だというビジネスに少しずつカスタマイズしていかないとなかなかビジネスができないという実情があります。でもう一つ次にその新規事業の話というところでちょっとUber Eatsの事例をご紹介したいんですけれども、今でこそフードデリバリーは身近になってきました。特に日本では。 でただその当時というのは、実際にそのレストランと、それを運ぶ人、それとユーザーというこの3者をマッチングするプラットフォームっていうのは、非常に新たな画期的なモデルでして、それをどういうふうに作り上げるかっていうのも一から検討していったという形になります。でその中ではいわゆるその道路運送法であるとか、食品衛生法、それから景品表示法であるとか、資金決済法であるとか、こういうさまざまな、法律を気にしながらですね、そのモデルをどういうふうに日本の社会に合うような形で、ビジネスモデルを構築をしていくのかというのを、一緒にお手伝いしながら、作っていったという経緯があります。で、このように特にこの規制が強い産業、ヘルスケアの業界もそうですけれども、いかに法令遵守をしたビジネスモデルを作り上げるかというのがビジネス戦略上も非常に重要になってくると思いますし、それが最終的には企業の発展につながっていくというところなので、アランさんからご紹介ありましたように、事業を始める、日本に参入するその時点で、リーガルの観点での、検討というのが、必要になってくるというのが日本市場の特徴かなというところで、本日ちょっとご紹介させていただきました。以上になります。